Folks, what's going on? We're going to do some artwork this morning, so give me a second here. I need to check in on my signal, make sure I'm coming through clearly, and do some social media posts. It'll take probably less than a minute, so if you want to skip ahead, get into the artwork of it, I will see you on the other side. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. We'll drop that down. Drop that down there, and we're going to grab my link here real quick. How do I distract you while I do this? Let me say, yeah, so I've been a DM since 1987. I've been an Eberron enthusiast since 2004. I've been a freelance artist since 1999, and I started creating content on the DMsGuild in 2018 is the first time something published. I started collaborating on 2017, so I've been around for a while. But Eberron's been my favorite campaign setting since I started playing it around the end of around 4th edition. Instead of playing 4th edition, I played Pathfinder and Cypher System, Numenera. And because I wasn't really into 4E, I played some of it, but I didn't want to run it. So I went back to 3.5 as in Pathfinder, and as well as completely switching gears to a more narrative system like Numenera. And I wanted a new world to be able to kick around inside of. So I got into Eberron, and I fell in love with it, and I've stayed there ever since. So we're creating an adventure for the Eberron campaign setting called Crystals of Mavar. You can see the book cover here. I'm done with my social postings, so let me fix my screens real quick, and we'll actually get into the artwork of today. There we go. If you think this stuff is fun, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. We have new subscribers. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, bell icon, notifications. Here's a bunch of books that I've already created. They all have free previews. They're chock full of my art and ideas. Check them out. If you're a 5e enthusiast, you might find some stuff that is interesting there. But let's get actually into the artwork. So, book cover, we created this around episode 40. We're now on episode 617. We're making our way there, guys. We're going to get done. So, we're working on Ultroloth right now. We have our reference here from the new monster manual. I just wanted to change the pose up a little bit. A triumphant Ultroloth taking control of a manifest zone that opens a portal to the plane of Mabar to lead undead through to the world of Eberron to destroy humanity or all sentient life. We're going to continue. So when we last left off, I liked the idea of the astral inside of its the folds of its cloak. So I wanted to duplicate a similar effect. So let's get after it. I'm going to use my Cloud Brush smudge tool. These tools are all these brushes are on my Patreon, which is linked down below. It's a free tool for anybody until the end of the year, and then I'm going to switch it to a gift for $1 patrons. But so yeah, I'm just going to make some swirls and smokiness inside here, and just play around a little bit. It might have some effect on we could create some like rim lighting and stuff like that as a result of it. So we'll get to all that. We'll get to that. I've been creating labels and extracting squares from maps to put them into map legends. That's how I've been spending my free time when I'm not on camera as of late. And also big news for anyone that's been tracking. We had our first game of Mage Tower last night, or rather Saturday night with I play in a Curse of Strahd game, and we've had some attendance issues cropping up just because of family and stuff, the holidays and blah blah. So we've decided that if we don't have a full grip, a full table of all of our players, that we should have an alternate, something to do so that those that couldn't make it aren't left behind. And so I volunteered and was accepted for the substitute DM for off days. And I'm building a Strixhaven Curriculum of Chaos campaign. And one of the things, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time, we're using Mage Tower, the rugby / Quidditch sport that that Wizards came up with for the Strixhaven card set in Magic the Gathering. It's basically magical rugby. So, but in Curriculum of Chaos, it's a skill test. So everyone on the team makes an ability check of their choice, and you add up all the results versus the enemy team adding up all their results, and whoever rolls highest or has the highest cumulative score is the one that wins the match. And it's basically over with one die roll, which a combat aficionado and mechanical junkie like me, that's not enough. So I wanted to embellish that system and make it actually feel like a sport. So you can go to my live stream and do a search for Strixhaven or Mage Tower, and you'll find the building of the combat mechanics, the combat encounter, or the combat challenge that we turned Strixhaven into. I've got some seams here and over here that need to get fixed. I'm noticing that. But yeah, so we made a combat system out of it, and we ran our first game on Saturday night when I was playing substitute DM, and it was fun. It was fun to run as a DM. It was the players enjoyed it. There's all these. Okay, so the reason I did this is because there's been forever arena one shots where everyone builds their super build and fight each other to see who's got the biggest, baddest, meta solution to 1v1 combat, and they're never fun. Those are not like a shot of any sort. Like, that is not an adventure. That's basically white room testing character builds at whatever level and whatever parameters are established to play. And so those are I've participated in many of them, and for the most part they're really disappointing and not a really good use of time. They don't there's no development. The build gets played and then cashes out. You're playing chess, I guess. You're trying to outwit and outperform other living people, so that are players on equal terms as your character theoretically. So there is that tactical challenge to it, but you're basically just in a box fighting each other, and whoever runs out of hit points first wins. And that is one of that is the most commonly complained about things about, like, how do I make combat more interesting? And the most typical response to that is provide alternate win conditions. So in a game where you're not emotionally attached to a character that you've spent time building, to fight other people that are similar in a one-shot scenario of just killing each other, and then you're done with that character. There's no alternate win conditions, so it breaks its own thesis of how do you make combat interesting by having alternate win cons. So by making a sport with combat action economy, you're able to have combat without actually risking your character's death that has a built-in win condition, alternate from taking away the hit points. Now in Wage Tower you can kill your opponent, but all the damage is going to be temporary. So if one team TPKs the other team, then they automatically score enough points. They automatically win that half, and then the half ends and they scored extra points over the dead team, but the dead team is revivified or is resuscitated. It's just temporary hit points anyway, so they just have to shake it off. So the short rest between game halves is, hey, what's up, Steve? The rest between halves is that's your short rests, and all your temporary hit points get restored, so you're back to 100% again. As soon as you leave the arena, you're 100% again. So you can have characters go in and play Mage Tower and not risk actually getting their character killed, but you're scratching the combat itch. And so obviously whoever has, okay, so the way we, after playing, we realized that 9 points per match is too long. Especially as you keep expanding the number of players that are going to be participating, the amount of rounds it would take to resolve scoring 9 points would literally be 9 or more rounds, depending on how efficiently your team gets at scoring a point. When you score a point, everyone resets, and then you go at it again. So everyone's constantly closing distance with each other or trying to create distance with the ball going towards each other's goals. And 9 points is too long. So one of the rules of combat is make it snappy and fast so that it stays interesting. Hey, yeah, man. Hey, Def. It's good to see you. Nice gingerbread house, by the way. Digging the scene. Def is one of the guys, one of our artists that hangs out in my Discord server link down below, and we have a making stuff and art channel and things, and so we all kind of go and sharpen our knives together. So, like seeing that, my man. Very cool. And that, what was it called? Yugimoji? That game app that your friend made. It's like a type of Othello or Go combined with Connect 4. It's a really interesting game. I played maybe... I think I took a 2-hour block of time and like played 40 matches versus there's 3 different gears of AI: easy, moderate, and difficult. And I was able to beat the easy one pretty handily. But I honestly had a 50-50 split between AI number 2. I didn't even bother trying number 3. It's a good game. It's an efficient little piece of machinery. So congrats to your friend, man. That's really good. You can see a link to that down in the self-promotion tab of my Discord if you care to join and go check it out. No cost for the Discord. Just jump in and have fun. Yeah. It's challenging. There's all sorts of little meta strategies that I see can rise from it. It's a legitimately good game. So thanks for sharing that, and congrats to your friend. That's awesome. I was ranting about Strixhaven. I have 2 things I could be ranting about today. I'm going to rant about Strixhaven because we had our first Mage Tower matches on Saturday, and then I want to talk about, if I have time, I will talk about converting gold to XP in 5e, which is probably a worthy video unto itself. And I know I've done a number of live streams kind of talking about it while I was building the dungeon where we would actually be implementing it, but I haven't really spelled it out as a thing specifically, which would make a really cool rule set to put on my Patreon, for example, or to make a PDF thing out of, which would take a little bit of time for me. So maybe when I finally finish this Eberron adventure, I can take some time to build that out. But there was a question about it on the Discord of Many Things about using XP, using gold for XP in D&D 5e, and I wanted to address that. So if I have time, I'll talk about that. But we stream for about an hour and a half, Monday through Friday in the morning like this, and then we do deeper game mechanic design on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But this is a holiday week. Hey, what's up? There's a winning move named after me. It's called the DPA. I will have to find out more about that. You can. Yeah. Okay. It was used against me, and this. Right on. Defected something. I'm sure. Yeah, I want to find out about that, and yeah, I will sign up, and I will compete against you guys. I'm also a chess aficionado, so that's probably not the right word. I'm a chess enthusiast. I like playing 5-minute rapid games. I'm horrible at it. In standard, like in 10 minute timed, I've got a 1,000 rating, but in rapid chess 5-minute games, I only have I've just pushed into a rating of 400. It's the competition is so much stronger in 5 minute. It's like it's ridiculous. On chess.com. The level of skill of people playing chess in 5e it's not casual. I started playing 5-minute chess because I kept timing out on 10-minute games because I thought through options too much. So I decided playing a longer game is only going to teach me how to think slower. So let's play a faster game so it forces me to learn to think faster. So if I do go back to 10-minute games, I'll have a quicker tempo built in so I'd have abundant time at the 10-minute mark. But now I'm getting used to 5-minute games, and I don't know if I'm going to go back to 10 minutes or not. So I like my puzzle games. I like strategy games. I'm also a big backgammon enthusiast. Holy shit, give me those dice. I love playing backgammon. Such a fun game. Okay, so I'm making this swirliness, this astral interior. And I want to have pockets, like I want to have breaks and ripples like clouds. So I'm treating these things like clouds. This is using the same method that Bob Ross uses, right? This is our, here, I'll show you my smudge brush. Like what color it is. Or there you go. Actually, let's be there. So it's a very unusual shape. It has different levels of opacity inside of it, and there's line breaks inside of here. You can't see it so good with this contrast, but there's like little, like you can see them, there's little cuts into it. So this creates different degrees of strength that pull pixels at different rates inside of the mass. But as a result, it makes a very smooth, faded gradient. And the way that Bob Ross does clouds is little circles. So if you do little circles or like little wibbles, I can create all these neat little smoky shapes. And of course the brush spins, of course, so I can change my angle while I'm doing this to create this neat little topsy tumble effect that creates a sort of cotton ball-y sort of feel. So that's the technique and the brush that I'm using inside this interior space here to create these astral cloud effects. So we'll work on this and we'll soften this up a little bit. I probably don't need to go this hard on detail on this monster art, but I just do what the muse wants me to do. She's inspired to move me. I'm inspired to be moved. If I get to just talk about things I'm excited about, she'll do all the work for me, and we get to watch it happen together. So, might suggest adding timer control to Yugo. Yeah, I think so. So you can change it to 5-minute games if you want instead of 10. Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be a great idea. I think you guys could pull off bullet games at 3 minutes. It's a simple enough mechanic, and once you start learning, I can see that there's patterns of movement to drop pieces and then pull them off the board again. I can see the patterning there. And I think if you had a bullet game of 3 minutes, I think that would really force people to get into reflex pattern making, which I think could be valuable. So that, yeah, definitely worth experimenting and playing with. I am not ready for bullet anything. I am a chronically slow thinker. Just to be complete legit, I think things through too much. I think it's a product of all the acid that I ate in the 90s, but who knows? I think and then overthink and then rethink a lot. And I've managed for the most part to be able to mitigate that in D&D over the decades because it's become such a rote. Like playing D&D is almost a muscle reflex. So like I don't have problems processing rounds myself personally. But that's only because I've put in shitloads of time. So I know that chess will get there as well. And with God's grace, I'll have a few decades to really be able to build that out. So we're just going to keep swirling on this and making little club fluffy patterns inside here. And then we'll add little dollops of starlight and some darker splashes of black just to add some depth and variety. But yeah, Mage Tower, 9 point. Okay, so the original idea was not to have a timed game. Actually, a timed game might not be a bad idea. We will play test timed games, like hockey matches last an hour and then have overtime till sudden death if the score is tied. We could actually put a 1 hour timer and have 20 minute periods to last 1 hour. But the way that we set it up initially was to have like whoever gets to originally it was whoever gets to 9 points first wins, and then we break it up into every 3 points is a period, and then if no one's gotten to 9 points by the end of period 3, then we go into overtime, and whoever gets to 9 points in overtime wins. But that assuming 1 round per point, that's at least 9 rounds of combat. And if you have like teams of 4 or 5, that's going to take a very long time. So we already decided to trim it down to 4 points, and not periods, but halves. So 2 points per half. And if someone hasn't gotten to 4 points by the end of the second half, then it's into overtime. And so if you TPK the enemy team, you automatically get 2 points, or rather you get a total of 2 points. Actually, we might change it. No, we don't want to incentivize combat more than we already have. We're emphasizing scoring points, but if the enemy team is currently unconscious, they cannot score points. So combat is a viable means. It's all temporary hit points anyway. You'll be fine. You just got your ass handed to you. And then the enemy team scores all these points. So, there you go. I'm almost done with this first layer of clouds. I like this choppiness down here, but I want to blend in the background so it's got this nice background haze without any real rough, sharp edges. And then we're going to come back through with black and add sharp, rough edges. But so, yeah, reducing it down to 4 points and halves helps speed things up. We're finding maybe 2 or 3 rounds per point. So at 4 points equals victory, and assuming the enemy team gets up to 3, that's 7 points, which is 14 rounds of combat, which is a good hour and a half chunk of time to play. So, yeah, not fast and snappy, but it's very, because you're stealing the ball from each other or disarming each other, and it scampers across the ground to escape everybody. And then there's positioning and dropping in spells for buffs. At one point, the sorcerer on the allies team was dropping haste on people and then getting his concentration broken. So whichever striker runner was hasted would get paralyzed. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Or not paralyzed, stunned. It was cool. We had a monk, shadow monk, which was also a gloomstalker. So was dropping darkness, using mana, dropping darkness on the ball because the monk could see, the gloomstalker could see through the darkness. So it was running with the ball in a blob of darkness. So the NPC team had to dump counterspell. Darkness is only a 2nd level spell, so spend 3 mana on counterspell equals automatically dispel the ball. But it was only costing with this system, it only cost the monk 1 point to cast darkness. So the monk would only have to spend 1 point. The full casters would have to spend 3 points. It wasn't a bad idea to spend action economy, or rather to spend mana to waste the opponent's mana pool so that they ran out of big flashbang spells. And the sorcerer dropped a couple fireballs and was using flight, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing more. So I was going from the approach of steal the ball and try to score a goal, and the team would oscillate between kill them versus score points. And so there was a lot of mix in there, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for actual repeat characters, like build athletes that you run multiple games with and build meta strategies and synergize as a team to build point scoring strategies if you don't want to just outright try to kill the enemy team. If the enemy team is better because if you score a point, it ends the match, or it ends that encounter, that ends that round. So you reset to start positions and your combat ends, but you don't regain hit points until the end of a match. But you only have to score 2 points to get to halftime to get your short rest in this accelerated pace. And I think that's going to have enough punch and tempo that it should remain interesting. So. And if you TPK team before they score a point, you automatically score 2 points, and it goes to halftime for them to get their short rest to dump the temporary hit point damage to try again. And then if you can TPK them again in a rematch, then you sweep them, you basically swept them. You get your 4 points at the end of the match, and it's over. And you just had a 4, 6, maybe 7 round combat where you're taking each other out, and that's a decent combat match. Like you could do You could easily do one of those in like an hour and a half. If you have a 3-hour session, you could run 2 sessions a day. If you have a smaller team, if you have a team of 4 players, you could have them play 2v2 against each other, so you shorten the duration of a round. And it's all for funsies anyway. It's not like you're actually dealing damage, just scoring points and gaining clout. But in an active Strixhaven game, you can have an ongoing arena, like an ongoing league of competing teams that you'll come and face again. So I can build multiple characters that can act as NPC teams, so that the players have a different, monster of the week sort of flavor. Like, what? Hey, we're fighting Houston this week. How's that work? Oh, like, it would be Houston, whatever. Anyway, that's the idea. But it uses the 5e game engine, and it works fucking fantastic. So I'm really, that's with my Curse of Strahd game that we started doing that. But I want to bring this into into my Discord server and run matches of this. So like maybe just have like 2-hour sessions on a Saturday might be the best way to do that. So I could stream and do a game of Mage Tower each week, and just do that for the foreseeable future. That's my current thinking. And then leave Monday and Thursday for evening game design. Let's do that. I'm going to use a sharper smudge. Push that up to what, 70? 60, yeah. I want to make little hollow effects. And then we'll dot in stars. I'm going to come back down here. I want to grab this and basically just pull and chop at it. What's up? Are you playing the real time or game time? And if game time, how are you managing that? Yeah. Yeah. Of course, yeah. The meta will emerge. I saw the AI use diagonals a lot. Like we make a partial box and then a diagonal. It was. I can see there's math in there, so there's going to be patterns and formula. It's just a matter of discovering them, and I think that'll be really exciting. How are you going to DM the halftime? Are you playing the real time or game time? And if game time, how are you managing that? Yeah, we're not doing any time in game. It's just a round. Like the ball starts at the half court. The team starts at the goalpost. It's 120 feet in size. So here, I'll pop it open for you guys real quick, just to take a look at it. Where is it? Strixhaven, Mage Tower map. Where is it? Spelljammer, Strixhaven, starting soon. Here we go, Mage Tower. Here's the Mage Tower battlefield. So each square is 5 feet. It's 210 feet in length. Half court here is 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. It's 60 feet from half court to goal post. It's 60 feet. And the team has to start on the tower. This is 5 feet, this is 5 feet. So the tower, the goal post is 15 feet above the floor of the arena floor. The ball can only be thrown 40 feet. So normal range is 20 feet and disadvantaged long range is 40 feet. The ball travels 40 feet no matter what. So if I miss the goalpost, it'll end up over here somewhere. Like if I start and I throw the ball from here, I might as well just walk up and do a melee attack with the ball to hit the goalpost to score the point. But the team has to start on the tower and then descends. The ball starts at half court and goes first. So you roll a random direction and the ball runs 20 feet in some direction, like that way or this, it's a D8. So whatever direction it wants to go. And then the team has to go and pick it up as an object interaction or as an opportunity attack if the ball bounces through your area, leaves your area of effect like in normal combat, and then run over and then shoot and score a point. Or you can kill each other. So anyway, whenever you score a point, everyone automatically resets back to their go post and the ball goes back to the center. So that happens after every point, and then at halftime, everyone resets to here anyway, but you get the benefit of a short rest. So That's what halftime is. And then at the end of it, the game is over. So it's effectively like a long rest. So you can use, so it kind of like exists in its own timeline. So if we were to do time matches, it would be timed in real world. Like you've got 1 hour as 2-player teams to score as many points as you can, and whoever has the most points wins. That might be actually a fun way to do it as well, timed or point value. So I mean, people spend 3 hours in boss fights, so having 1 hour matches wouldn't be a big problem, but cycling rounds would be a problem with the larger size of teams. So if you're playing like the recommended maximum amount of 4 people, that's 8 characters that are on the battlefield duking it out together and trying to score points. So how many, after everyone has a turn, how many in 1 hour, how many turns is everyone going to actually have? And the answer is probably going to be 1 hour. It's probably going to be 8. The answer is probably going to be 8 on a team of 3 or 4, like 8 or 6 is pretty realistic. So how many points can you score during that time? Probably 2 or 3. So it could be a 3-round match and then it's over, or it could be 2 versus 1 after 1 hour. That seems pretty realistic. So we'll have to play a lot more games with different sized teams to find out. So hopefully we'll have a roster of 3 or 4 people showing up. And if it's 3 people, then it will be team versus DM. If it's 2 people, it'll be team versus DM. If it's 4, ideally it would be PvP, just for the enjoyment, and then the DM becomes the referee. The DM is always going to be a referee anyway, but if the DM is also NPC playing an enemy team, I'm wearing both of those hats. But the rules are the rules. There's no judgment. I mean, the only judgment call is how would this spell apply to this play. And that would be something that the team would have to agree on. Obviously, a DM would have final arbitration over that. But if you're running the game without a DM, we want to run these games to establish all these footnotes, just so that people know, how to adjudicate different like homebrew effects and stuff like that. How would that get weighed in? But ideally, the game is ran without a DM, so that everyone gets to play a character and throw points at each other. Yeah, the ball is it's a tiny size Ultroloth resilient sphere with a pest inside of it. Pest is a vermin creature. It's kind of like like an 8-legged centipede, basically. That's the mascot familiar for school Witherbloom. So no bias, but it's a wild centipede. It's a wild pest that's been caught in the forest and then brought in and put into a Ultroloth sphere and then tossed down onto the battlefield. There you go, get terrified, and the thing's freaking out. So it's trying to run away from people and has a movement speed of 20 feet. It's in the Ultroloth's resilient sphere, so it's in a ball of force that's indestructible, but it's basically a hamster ball. So a tiny hamster ball that weighs less than 5 pounds, so it can be used like with Mage Hand, Catapult, telekinetic thrust. And it's a bludgeoning weapon that can deal force damage or bludgeoning damage, your choice. But yeah, it's alive. So the actual Mage Tower game that's described in Magic the Gathering, it doesn't have any actual rules, just basically how the game, like what the game is. It's basically fly speed, Quidditch / Harry Potter / rugby. In the actual rules of Mage Tower, there's 2 balls. You have a ball with your mascot, and the enemy has a ball with their mascot, and each of you are trying to score points simultaneously. So your team is divided between defenders and strikers. But in D&D, that doesn't really work, because then you'd have to have a team of 4 or 5 or even 6 people to be able to cover both roles, and that's too long. It's too much for combat. And the actual Mage Tower arena is 500 feet, which is 10 rounds of combat dashing to get from one end to the other. That's too slow for an actual game of Mage Tower at the 5-foot scale of combat using 5e action economy. So we had to make it only 200 feet with only 120 feet between both goalposts. So that's a manageable distance in normal 5e combat. That's why they made it an ability check test, a skill challenge instead of a combat challenge, because if they're staying true to the size of the arena referenced in the Magic the Gathering card set, then it's not playable as a combat match. But you don't actually play Mage Tower in Magic the Gathering. It's like the arena is a land card, and there's like an instant effect, like score the goal or something like that, and like, you know, gain 2 points of energy or something when you use this card. But there's no actual points being scored as a game, so it doesn't even matter. It's completely pointless to adhere to the description of Mage Tower from the card set as a D&D game, because it doesn't work as D&D. You'd have to go with an ability check system, and that's fucking boring. So change the rules, change the appearance so that it actually works with combat.
Yeah, like I want to cast Magic Missile on the ball and make it move an extra 5.
There is the sorcerer can do that. When the sorcerer has a meta magic that when you deal damage to a target with a spell, you can move that target 10 feet per mana spent on meta magic. So a 5th level wizard, a 5th level sorcerer that has a maximum sorcery limit of 2, which means you can use up to 2 mana to combo meta magic effects together. And the repelling, the explosive shot, or the explosive spell sends enemies away from you, away from the source when you hit them, and it's 10 feet per point. And at 5th level, I can spend 2 points. And repelling is only a first or explosive. No, explosive is a second rank, is a second sorcery. So you spend 2 points, and yeah, you can launch them 10 feet per 2 points. Or rather, 10 feet per point. So 2 points, you get access to it at 5th level, but you have to spend 2 points on it, which means it punts something, I believe, 20 feet. So with a magic missile, if you hit the same target with all the magic missiles, it's still considered one instance. So it would only be 20 feet of thrust. But you have 3 darts, so you can hit other people as well to like send them away from the ball while you're propelling the ball forward. But yes, you can absolutely do that as a wizard, all the way from the goalpost, pop, pop, pop. But you can't. It's only gonna go 10 feet because you only use that push spell, and at half court it's 60 feet away from the goal. So if your team drops the ball within 20 feet and you have a line to the goal, you could fire magic missile, and as a sorcerer, as a quickened spell, to hit the ball and get the rest of the distance. But you could also use like the telekinetic feat to thrust to do the same thing as well. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You could do that. That's like one of a billion ways that you can use the 5e game system in a rugby match to use like the sorcerer, like the wizard or the sorcerer, or whatever, being able to spam spells like that is awesome. But the sorcerer specifically can use meta magic to add in that repelling blast effect. The sorcerer has repelling blast, so could also do that, but can fire multiple eldritch shots per round. So from half court, a 17th level warlock would be able to push it 40 feet, but that just basically hands it to the enemy team at opening round. So a strategy could be get the warlock lined up with the goalpost and then get the ball in front of him, so he can use repelling blast to shoot the goal. I hadn't even thought of that. So the enemy team has to make sure that the warlock doesn't line up with it. Like in chess, never line your queen up in front of the king, otherwise it's going to get pinned. You're going to want to try to break pins with the warlock and the ball, so he doesn't just punt it 40 feet to hit the post. And then the attack roll, basically, if you hit the ball, it will go in that direction, and then that whatever your attack roll was on the ball, the ball and the goalpost have the same armor class. So if you hit the ball and launch it, it hits the goalpost and it automatically hits because it's the same attack roll. You see how that works? Totally viable strategy. But with with Magic Missile, you automatically hit the ball. Now that ball, you have to make your attack roll as a result of the ball being repelled towards the goal. Hopefully that makes sense.
How would Barbarian Rage work? Asking for a friend. Yeah, like I want to on the ball. I know how it works on players.
What do you mean? Because the ball can't have rage, right? Maybe I don't understand the question. I must not understand the question. The ball is a weapon, so when you attack the goal with the ball, you're going to you have to deal damage to the deal damage, quote unquote, to the goalpost to count as a valid hit. So you can the armor class is only 10, so you're gonna fucking hit it. It's gonna take a miracle for you not to hit it. A miracle against you. But as long as you deal damage to the goalpost, you'll then score a point. Because you could reduce damage down to 0. If it has temporary hit points, you're not actually damaging the goal. So you have to deal enough damage to get through temporary hit points. Like if I have 15 temporary hit, if I'm playing a Twilight cleric, and I'm the goalie, I have warding bond and temporary hit points on the goalpost. So I'll take half of the damage. And then the goalpost is going to take the other half, and then you have to get through the temporary hit points I gave it as part of that damage. So you might hit the goalpost, but not get through my temporary hit points and warding bond. So you didn't deal any damage, and you just handed me the ball. I now have the ball. I'm going to throw it to my friend. The extra damage. Yeah, it deals extra damage when you make your shot while you're raging. Yeah, it's just a little kicker effect. And in my version of the monk, deflect attacks ability that the monk has can be used for yourself or an ally within reach of your melee attacks. So if I'm a monk goalie, I can use deflect attack when a ball comes in and reduce the amount of damage that the ball deals. And if I can reduce the damage down to 0, even if you hit the goalpost, I've just neutralized it to 0, and I catch it. I am now holding the attack. I can redirect it to somebody else within 60 feet of me, which will be my ally, who will then be able to catch the ball. And everyone can do an opportunity attack to grapple. That's just a default thing. So as long as you're more than 5 feet away from the goal, and the ball has to pass through your reach to hit the goalpost, you can make an opportunity attack to grab the ball, and the pest inside the ball automatically fails any grappling save. So if you use your reaction to opportunity attack, you can catch the ball on the way to the goal, but you have to have your reaction available to do it. And so if I hit you with Shocking Grasp, you can't use your opportunity attack this round, so I can score a point against you. So that's a strategy as well. Or you can just close distance and keep a hold of the ball and use it as a melee attack to hit the goalpost. That counts as a point as well. So you need to have a blocker, you need to have a goalie there to ward off anyone that's going to close distance and hit your goalpost. So the monk is a really good combatant. So is Hold Person. Hold Person is a great strategy because you can hit somebody, they get frozen, you can then use an object interaction to take the ball away from them. And then crit them with damage before you wander off towards their goalpost. Entanglement worked really well. We were talking about the monk using darkness on the ball itself, so it becomes dark, and then the monk or a Gloomstalker can run with the ball in the ball of darkness in the field of darkness. But darkness is only a 2nd level spell, so it can automatically be dispelled by dispel magic. So you have to have a full caster on your team to dispel effects. Earthbind to bring flyers down to the ground to prevent them from flying. So they're basically wasting 3 mana, and you're wasting 3 mana to counter it. No items. 0 items. The battlefield itself is considered an arcane focus. So any spells that have consumable or cost X gold to cast, you can't cast. It's like you can't cast Imprisonment. because that has like a 5,000 gold piece gem or something to cast that spell. And plus, I don't think it can be cast in a round. So like if something would be destroyed or have a gold value to cast a spell, you can't cast it. But like Fireball, you can cast Fireball without material components if you have an arcane focus. And the arena itself is an arcane focus. So you don't have to bring material components in. And you don't have weapons. So a monk makes for a really good combatant to kill people, as does the Soul Blade. Or what is it? Is it Soul Blade, the rogue that can create energy daggers? Cantrips, of course, are useful for killing each other. But you can also take one of the martial powers is the ranged assault sustained power that creates ammunition that you can then fire as thrown weapons. So it just creates weapons. But yeah, you can't bring any weapons in with you. No magic items, no nothing. Like my barbarian had like an armor class of 14. You know, I mean, a barbarian's going to get hit anyway. But like the wizard had an armor class of 10 because they weren't willing to spend the action economy to cast mage armor. Who cares, right? They're going to hit me. They're going to hit me. There's nothing I'm going to do about that. I can't buff my way out of that. So yeah, everyone is super fragile and unbuffed with any kind of equipment, so they're easy to hit, so you're always dealing damage to each other. It's great. Like the idea of like the monk has the best armor class in the game. The barbarian and the monk have the best armor class. And at 6th level, you know, you're gonna have like a +7 to hit. So like you'll hit on a 6 or better most of the time. It's great. Hey Fox. Yeah. But there's a roof of 40 feet. And the fly spell gives you hover, but most like naturally flying creatures don't have hover. So if you take the topple mastery, you automatically, any ranged weapon that you hit somebody with, you can automatically use topple to force them to make a saving throw or get tripped. And if they trip, they fall. So you can deal an extra 4d6 damage to them if you're able to topple them. So you want to use the fly spell to get it up and running, but Dispel Magic will bring that down. So you know, now it's just a fight, and you know, if you get countered, then you're going to drop. You can use Earthbind, but yeah, there's a roof of 40 feet. There's a force force cage around the arena, so you can't go out of bounds. The ball can't run off bounds while it's trying to run away from people. If it hits the wall, it might just try to climb the wall and not realize it can't, and then turn and go in another direction to run along the wall. But yeah, you can't go out of bounds, and 40 feet is within reach of all thrown weapons. So you can't avoid combat with the ball by just flying, but you can also fly over the goalpost and just drop it as an attack roll to score a point if you want to. So you have to counter that. The goalpost is only 5 feet tall, so you can't hit the top of the goalpost out of the reach of somebody. It's only 5 feet, so I can block it if I can, using a reaction, if I have a reaction. But there is the problem of I can't use opportunity attacks if you attack it from above, unless I can get above it as well, because opportunity attack only triggers when the ball leaves my reach. So I have to be at least 10 feet away from the goalpost and within reach of the goalpost, so that when you take your shot past me, I can grapple it as an opportunity attack and automatically succeed because the ball automatically fails. But it worked really well. It's really, but yeah, flight is an issue. So my NPCs, my martial, obviously the caster NPCs have ranged cantrips. So once you see somebody take to the sky, it's like just either kill them or dispel them so they get ground, or hit them with Earthbind, one or whatever. Got to do something, otherwise they'll just be able to close distance. You can create walls of force and stone walls if you want to prevent progress, but you have to leave at least a 5-foot opening somewhere in the wall at some angle for people to be able to walk through, to be able to score a point or be able to take a shot at it. But like you can use wind wall, and you can use wind wall horizontally to prevent the ball from hitting the goal, or drop the wind wall directly on the goal post, so that while wind wall is active, you have to melee touch the goal post, because if you try to throw it and the wind wall is on the goal post, it'll automatically deflect the attack and you can't pass through. So if you drop the wind wall directly onto the goal post, it's taller than the goal post, so it'll prevent aerial drops, but it costs 3 mana to put up a wind wall if you have it. And it can be dispelled, so now you're playing cat and mouse with people's mana pools again. But there's all these different strategies that you can, all sorts of cool combos of spell and magic meta that can develop depending on what your team's strategy is. But Fox, just for reference, instead of playing Curse of Strahd on my home, on one of my alternate teams that I play every other week, we were missing people. So instead, they decided, yeah, let's try Phil's Mage Tower. And they fucking loved it. So we're going to start playing Mage Tower if people are missing from our Curse of Strahd game, we're going to play Mage Tower instead. And they've already built alternate Strixhaven athletes. And we're going to leave the door open to like do Arcavios Strixhaven style adventures and shit if we want to. But yeah, so I've technically got playtesting going for Mage Tower already with my play team. But I still want to open. I think I can do like a 2-hour session on Saturdays, just for a match or two, depending on how many people show up, and just to sling it around and find the flaws, the caveats and the weirdness that needs to be resolved, and find the meta strategies that fix something. Like a particular idea might not be broken. You just have to know the right strategy to resolve it. So, and until you know what that strategy is, it might be an effective attack against you. Kind of like Queen's Gambit. It's really rough until you know how to fight it. So a lot of fun opportunities there. You can banish people. You can't banish this. You can't banish the ball. We have a penalty box or a banish box that people go to if they get banished, so they can still see what's going on. They just can't act until they get out of the box, and they save their way out of the box, of course. You can't summon additional allies in with any kind of action economy. Like you can have Ancestral Guardian stuff, Spirit Guardians, conjure animals doesn't actually conjure animals anymore. It just creates an area of effect damage sort of thing. But yeah, you like Find Familiar. You can't use Find Familiar. You can't use Find Steed. You can polymorph yourself into a horse and then let your team ride on your back. The NPC druid was turning into a deer because a deer has a 60-foot movement speed. So I can take you from half court to goal in one movement, or from my goal to the enemy goal in one dash action. So if the barbarian jumps onto my back, and then a halfling barbarian rides the druid's back to the other goal, then I can make a melee attack with the ball as many times as I need to hit armor class 10. So a lot of fun strategies there. We were playing 6th level. 6th level druids can't turn into flying creatures yet. You have to be 8th level to get there. But once you do, you can grab the ball in your talons and just fly it over to the enemy goal and make a flight attack. Like I think a hawk has like a 90-foot movement speed, so it can get within range of throwing the ball to be able to score a point in the first round. Bonus action, transform. Move action, pick up the ball as an interaction, fly the rest of the way to the goal, and then as an attack, make a ranged attack. So a 8th level druid could potentially score a point in the first. Like if the druid has initiative, like the very first action could score a point, potentially. You start with reactions available. The first round is get ready, and then chirp. The whistle chirps, and everyone has a reaction up immediately. So if anyone can do a strategy like that, you aren't flat-footed and have a point scored on you because you can't take a reaction because that's been your initiative yet. Everyone has initiative rollover, and then the ball goes first. There. See, this has got some cool little astral slooble stuff going on here. See, it's kind of similar to the stuff that's going on down here, but different, Phil flavored. I'll bond the black overlay onto the blue and then blend them together a little bit more. But I'm just basically, I'm geeking out about Mage Tower because it went so well. Yeah. That's all fine. As long as you don't leave the arena, you can do that. That's fine. Absolutely, Dimension Door. But when you do Dimension Door, you're stunned when you come through the other end. So yeah, you can go from your goal to the enemy's goal, but now you're stunned for a round, and you're gonna have a goalie there with you, who's while you're stunned is just going to use object interaction to take the ball from you. But Misty Hop, absolutely. Kinetic Jaunt, absolutely. These are all viable. Etherealness, no. Blink, yes. Because I think Blink just gives you a percent miss. If you actually end up and stay on the ethereal plane on a die roll, I think it still does that. If it actually sends you and leaves you on the ethereal plane on a percentile, then that's not a viable spell because it takes the ball out of the arena. Rope Trick, you could use Rope Trick on yourself, but you can't take the ball in with you. Same thing with Magnificent Mansion. If you wanna have a door for Magnificent Mansion active while you're playing, you're welcome to do so. But you can't take the ball in. The ball won't go through. Same thing with Demiplane. Astral Projection. Sure, you can astral project yourself, but the ball won't go with you. Plane Shift. You can use Plane Shift to teleport, but it's unreliable. Plane Shift doesn't guarantee destination. So you can Plane Shift, but you'll end up a cardinal direction, a D8 cardinal direction away from the goalpost, 20 feet away from the goalpost. If the goalpost was your intended target, you'll end up 20 feet in some direction from where you're at. Anywhere from on point to 20 feet away is the way I should say that. Some of this. I think after we finish this, we'll do the purple pants, and then we'll do the whatever that is, toga, I guess, whatever, and then we'll be getting pretty close to done. My schedule this week, I work today. I'll be back on stream tonight working on more Spelljammer stuff. I'm not exactly... Oh yeah, we're building more unique structures and guilds for the Spelljammer campaign. We've got 2 more guilds to build before we're done with the team's local settlement. And then, Jesus, what are we gonna do from there? We'll create more kaiju. We'll create more monster kaiju to fight in combat, and then we're gonna be really close to being done with prep. Maybe we'll start building some villages or something in the on Mondays and Thursday nights. Yeah, well, yeah. Once we finish all the unique guilds and settlements, then we'll probably do some like real rough mapping of those settlements. So we'll do that. We'll be building guilds tonight for Spelljammer, and tomorrow morning I'll be back on stream like usual. It's for those that somehow see this in the distant future. It's Christmas week right now, so I stream Monday through Friday in the mornings like this, doing whatever book art I'm working on next, and then the Monday Thursday nights I do game design, and Saturday I do game design or playtesting. Sometimes both, depending on what's going on. But since it's Christmas week this week, this is a normal day, so Monday night I'll be doing game design with Spelljammer tonight. Tuesday morning I'll be back on like usual. Wednesday morning I'll be on like usual. Thursday is Christmas. I will not be on in the morning. I don't know what schedule with friends and family are Thursday night. So I may very well stream Thursday night like usual, but then I'll be back to normal. And then and then for up through New Year's, my schedule will be normal. The big difference is that I have staycation days starting tomorrow. So I work today. I work the 29th, which is next Monday. Otherwise, I don't work until the 2nd. So I've got a lot of time set up. My Christmas gift to myself every year and my birthday in May is I take a week off, so that I can be a full-time illustrator and role-play designer. I can be a role-playing company for 2 weeks a year, and that's my gift to myself. So starting tomorrow, I am not limited to an hour and a half of stream time. If I decide I want to ramble on for 4 hours about something, I can, and hammer through some artwork. So I am hoping that I will have this finished tomorrow, and finish it on stream from like 6:30 till maybe get it done by noon, or less. Who knows? Who knows how long it's going to take? But I'm not going to close myself off. I can persist with whatever I'm working on until it's done. So I'm anticipating having the Yugoloth, this Ultroloth done tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, I have the day off, and Thursday is Christmas, so I won't be around. And then Friday, I have the day off, so I'll be able to stream for X hours. And we have a few more creature paintings that we need to finish. And then we have like all the little corner pieces. Like we're going to do a Sturge swarm attacking somebody down here. That'll be like a little spot illustration. But we have a number of things that are like blank spots like this size at various pages and different columns. And so we're going to put like little things. I don't know what the fuck they're going to be, but we're going to fill these little spaces with like little visual noise, just to keep it from being blank. So between now and January 2nd, my hope is to have all of those little vignettes and creature illustrations done, so that we will actually have all of our assets complete by January 2nd. I don't know if we'll hit that goal, but that's what I'm striving for. And then the rest of the time, the other 5 hours that'll be off stream that I would normally be streaming, I can continue working on map icons and doing hyperlinks inside of the actual Word document to build into a PDF that you can then click around inside of to navigate the document. And once those hyperlinks and those map icons are done, then I start importing the images into the actual PDF to bond it all together into a final piece. I'm not sure how fast that's going to go. I'm hoping. I was hoping to have it done by January 6th, but it might be January 15th. It should be done in January, though. It should be done in January. I was willing to slide back to February, but I don't think I'll need it. It should be published in January. So that is my hope. And with God's grace, I'll be able to have good, efficient use of my staycation to be able to hammer out the rest of these assets to make that actually happen. So we'll keep your fingers crossed. We'll see. But we're getting super close to being done with this. So that means that major shift in gear for artwork in the morning stream. I've spent a year on the artwork here in Eberron. And the prior to that was the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration book. We spent about, I think, 6 months doing artwork on stream before we got back into Eberron. And then we did like maybe 6 months at Eberron before Spelljammer. We put Eberron on hold for literally a year, building the Spelljammer book. Yeah, I'm starting to like this. So that this cycle is coming to a close. Major emotional dump incoming. Major dump. I'm going to have post-mortem like crazy once this is done. So I'm going to once we finish the art assets, we'll have these art assets finished before all the art assets are dropped into the book. So there's going to be a time delay between having this book done and starting the next book. So I'm going to do an emotional cleanse by doing some Bob Ross landscapes in the morning. So probably by January 4th or 5th, we'll probably be done with all these art assets and we'll just start doing some landscape paintings just to find a zen space and give me some relaxation. I can typically get done with a landscape painting in about, if I'm not going hard on like heavy detail, about 4 or 5 hours. So it'll be a few streams. We can knock through a couple different pieces maybe, and that'll give me the opportunity to cleanse my palette, clear up my head, get ready for the next project, and it'll give me time off screen to go ahead and finish the Eberron piece while we're ramping into the next thing. So big gear changes coming up here. This is the last project, by the way, also that I have contracted with anybody. So I have an editor, Stuart Braz, and Andy Healy, a co-writer that helped me build this, that have been very patient in me publishing this, and it's going on the DMsGuild. So it's they originally each were being given a 10% cut of what the adventure is going to make, but now that DMsGuild has been dying so hard, I'm probably just going to offer them a cash, like a cash total. If an adventure gets a silver medal, it means you've sold 100 copies. And if I sell this for $13, because Eberron, why wouldn't I? Then they would each get $1.30 for each, which would end up being $130 for the work that they put in with this. So we're not going to make shit for this. Like it's going to be, it's such a loss. There's no way I'll ever get paid enough to make up for the year that I spent. Years spent making this. This has been a massive passion project. Just because it's a proof of concept, I wanted to prove it could be done. That I could do it this way, that I could make a PDF this way, I could have the utility of like one-page control panel, like an entire campaign of one-page control panel style adventure production. Like this has been a massive art project basically for me to be able to create this as a piece of art as much as a functioning adventure. So bucket list, but we're going to be going back to character options, which are page layouts for. You don't care if something spills from one page to the next when you're just listing feats alphabetically or whatever. So much more relaxed, so much more generous. But this is setting me up to be able to do one-page dungeons in this 17 by 11 legal sheet size that you can print out as a one page, and I could do them in black and white. So I could do a one-page dungeon that you could print off by sliding a legal sheet through your machine, or have it on your 16 by 9 tablet. The 17 by 11 format fits on a 16 by 9 tablet pretty well, by the way. So this page that we built here, it's actually 17 inches wide, 10 inches tall. So with margins intact, you could still do a 17 by 9 print of this page and every page in the adventure if you wanted to. It'll never qualify for print on demand. It's well, maybe you have to be a platinum seller to be able to do print on demand on the DMsGuild, and I want to say about maybe 200 sales away of the of Point Warlocks for me to qualify for platinum sales. I'll get there eventually, but yeah, we'll get there. So this maybe when we get there, we can come back and visit this and maybe get it into a print book, but it'd be a 17 by 9 page, so that'd be a custom build. It'd be ridiculous. So, but if I did one-page dungeons as 17 by 9s, I could give you a PDF of 20 dungeons, and then you can just go, you can just put it into your printer. I'm going to print this page, and now you have your 17 by 9 map printed out. But ideally, you just use your tablet, which is what this is intended for tablet use. Or if you're at a desktop like I use a 32-inch monitor, and so I could have a panel showing on the screen at a time, while still operating the virtual tabletop and all the other blah blah. Yeah, we're just doing swirls. I think I'm done with that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So let's bond that layer down to the lower layer, merge, and now I'm going to come back through. with a lighter strength brush and just smooth off some of the bits that look rough the wrong way. Make it more smoky, less artifact, you know? Break it up so you don't see the brush strokes. There, soften everything up. And once we have these in here, we'll probably add some stars, and then maybe do a blue highlight, like a brighter blue, to create some more punch inside of here. But I like how this looks. I like doing these little asshole swirls and stuff like this. They're just fun to do.
Yeah, I've been skipping text. We have oh, sorry guys. Oh, right on, Def. Good to hear you, dude. Have an office shut down with pay Christmas Eve to New Year.
Hey, fucking awesome, man. That is awesome. Good to you and your family. Well earned, sir. Well, we both have vacation time. Maybe I can catch up with you at some point. Have just have a chill. I'll send you a hello. You know, just to catch up. For those out there, Fox here started watching Eberron, me painting Eberron probably like back in February, and then became part of our playtest team for a while, and is just generally a good guy. Definitely. All my friends on how to say, I played a lot of D&D in college. Big shocker. That was back in the days of second edition, and I didn't know anyone when I went to college, so my strategy was to just go from room to room, floor to floor, and just introduce myself and say hello to everybody in the building so that I knew who it was. And it's like, hey, are you into comics, or what do you got going on? And if they were comic fans or like knew about comics or whatever, there was a decent chance that they'd be gamers. So then it would be like, you know, talk comics, catch the cut of their jib. If I was jiving with them, then it's like, hey, are you a role-playing enthusiast? And then built a team, and I quickly built a team of 5 people to play D&D with in college, and I've played with some of them still for decades later online through Roll20, and super fucking fun. But having said that, Fox, if I had found you in the dorm, I think you probably would have been at my table almost immediately. I'm certain of it. I will eventually find a third space for myself. I spend most of the time I work from home, and then I do all my art design and stuff at home. So I don't leave home a lot. I know it's not healthy. I need more people in my life. I just need to create space to do so. I'd like to get to a point somewhere. If I can ever get to a point where I don't have to have a day job, it would allow me to have so much more social stuff going on. Because my hobby of making games, it just consumes all the spare time I don't spend at work or with family. I would love for this to be my day job so that I could just create bandwidth for me, like to go join a chess club somewhere, like at the local library or something. Just to get more souls in my life. This hustle is a little imbalanced. Most people that do streaming or some sort of artwork or something have horribly imbalanced lives, and I am no exception. It is. Oh shit, we're almost out of time. Oh, at least we'll get this. Well, at least we'll get all this blurble in. I'm enjoying this. What's up? Ha! That's right. You got like a what, a swarm of like 20 gamers. Touche, sir. Touche. But hey, when you share DM responsibilities from campaign to campaign, it's kind of like our table. I used to hang with this family in high school, the McCracken family. They had 3 sons from age 10 to 16, and I was 16, and I hung out with the oldest, Kyle. And we'd have D&D weekends where I'd show up at their place on Friday, and I'd stay till Sunday. But we played Friday night as much as the parents would let us play on Saturday, and then Saturday night and into Sunday, and then I'd go home. But so we play a good, I want to say 20 plus hours of D&D on any weekend that we could get away with. Like the parents would yell at us, make us go outside occasionally. Fuck you. But when they weren't on our backs, we would spend 20 plus hours playing D&D down in the basement, and we would rotate like every 5 to 8 hours. Some other DM would take over, and we played different games. So we had a number, like I had a Dragonlance game going. We had a Faerun game going. I had an Athos. No, we weren't playing together when Athos came out, or Planescape. But we had an Underdark game going for a while, like a Drow Underdark game going for a while. That was fun. We had all these different campaigns rolling together at the same time, and we all had a different chance to play and DM. It was fun. It was a lot of fucking fun. I would log in the most time of DM. I just naturally gravitated towards DMing. I just love it. It's A, I'm a control freak, if you hadn't noticed. But B, I'm also OCD, so DMing keeps me dialed in and paying attention to details all the time. I don't have the grace of zone out time when you're a DM, so it really helps my attention issues and my obsessive behavior locks all that shit in. So DMing is really good for focus.
Is it yeah.
Yeah, you will. That's it. Yep, that's my day. I gotta bounce out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down. When we come back tomorrow, we'll finish up the astral interior, the leggings, some texture detail on the armor itself, work the eye, the whip, and then the background. So we may be able to get that all done in like maybe a 4-hour block of time. And I will have that 4-hour block of time tomorrow morning. I'll be back tonight to do more Spelljammer Asteroid community bastion creation. And yeah, stick around if you're new to the channel. God bless you for spending some time with me. I'll see everybody when I get to. And I'll definitely tonight. Later.